If you have the problem of overthinking and you want to stop it, then this video will share with you 2 simple ways to stop overthinking. It may take some more of your time, but believe me, if you watch it, you can surely stop overthinking. Now, let's listen to the story of a young boy who understood and found the root cause of overwhelm and stopped it. So let's begin with hopeful expectations. Once upon a time, in a town, there lived a young boy named Koji. Koji was a college student who had been upset for the last few months due to his overthinking. He visited well-known doctors in his town and shared his problem, but he could not find the right solution. One day, he shared his problem with his grandfather. The grandfather told him that some miles away from the town, there was a beautiful monastery where a wise old man lived with his students. If he visited the old man, he could surely find a solution to his overthinking problem. The next day, he went to the monastery. When he reached there, he felt a peace that he had never experienced in town. He met the wise man and started sharing his problem of overthinking. The wise man listened carefully, and after a while, with a peaceful smile, he said, "Be calm, young one. Remember, you're not alone in facing this problem. Many young people struggle with it, not knowing the right way to control it or seeking help, gradually slipping into depression, then losing happiness and hope in life. But don't worry, today I will share with you 2 simple ways to completely control your overthinking." Before sharing these, I want to tell you something more about overthinking to help you understand how to control it, Koji said. Okay. The wise man continued, "Firstly, close your eyes, be calm, and repeat this mantra that I will say, but do not think about peacock," Koji asked. "Why should I think about peacock when there's no connection?" The wise man replied, "All right, start repeating." As Koji began the mantra, for the first 10 minutes, he focused well. But after 10 to 15 minutes, he involuntarily started thinking about peacock. He tried to refocus on the mantra by battling the thought, but instead of focusing on the mantra, he kept thinking more about the peacock. Eventually, he repeated the mantra aloud, but couldn't concentrate as his mind was filled with thoughts of the peacock. He opened his eyes and asked the wise man, "Why is this happening to me? Why can't I focus on the mantra? Why are thoughts of a peacock coming to mind when I didn't think about it today?" The wise man smiled and replied, "Be calm, my son. This is what I want to teach you," the boy said. "What don't I understand?" The wise man said, "Overthinking is simply a thought. Like the thought of a peacock or any other thought that you can't destroy, stop, or forget by fighting it in your mind. But you can control it by applying these 2 ways that I'm going to share with you. The first method is to write down the reasons. First, take a pen and paper. Think about and identify what triggers your overthinking. Without knowing the reasons, without knowing what triggers your overthinking, you cannot deal with it, control it, or manage it. So first identify what triggers your overthinking and simply write it down on paper. For example, there are 2 thoughts that trigger your overthinking. One is the worry about the results of a test you took yesterday. Now, you are worrying about what the result will be, what your parents and friends will say, and what will happen. And the second is the worry about an exam you will be taking next week. Now, you are worried about how you will pass the exam. Now, write down these 2 thoughts on paper and think calmly and realistically about which thought is correct, which thought is realistic, and which one you can act upon. Cross out the thoughts on which you cannot act and mark correct on the thoughts on which you can act. Without overthinking, to start acting on those thoughts. In these 2 thoughts, cross out the first one, because you've already taken the test and cannot change the result. So don't think about it. Mark correct on the second thought, because your exams are in next week, and now prepare for the exams without overthinking. The second way is to stay busy. There's a saying we often hear from our grandparents: an idle mind is the devil's playground. Don't give your mind time to overthink. Create a daily routine and strictly follow it. If you've completed your work and have free time, don't sit idle. Engage in hobbies like writing, reading books, drawing, and spend time with your family and friends. The boy listened carefully to the wise man. Now, I want to share two important things with you. Come with me. The wise man and the boy went to the river. With an empty mud pot, fill this empty pot with river water, the wise man said. The boy filled the empty pot with water from the river. Then the wise man said, "Now, with the help of the pot's water, can you know the river? Can you perfectly judge the river?" After thinking, the boy replied, "No, wise man, how is that possible? But why are you asking me this?" The wise man smiled and replied, "Son, this is the lesson I want to teach you. See, this water in the pot is your thoughts, and the river is your life. With just your thoughts, you cannot judge or know your entire life. For that, you need to experience life. The second thing is, look at the sky today. A storm is coming to our monastery, and the sky is gloomy. Usually we see clouds in the sky, but some days the sky is clear and bright. Our life is like the sky. Normally we have some problems and thoughts in our minds, and some days these thoughts increase and darken our minds. But on other days we have no problems and feel very happy. So don't overthink about your life. Stay positive. If you think positively, the outcome will be positive. The boy thanked the wise man and returned to town, living a peaceful life with these lessons. So, these were the lessons included in the story 1. Overthinking is simply a thought like any other. Don't give it power to control you, and don't fight to forget it. 2. Writing down the reasons. 3. Keeping busy. 4. You cannot judge your whole life with just a thought. You need to experience it. 5. Life is like sky. By applying these methods, you can stop your overthinking. This concludes the God's Goals great story. Thank you for watching and stay blessed.